Late one night, Jake was filming when he suddenly ran into his sister's bedroom, holding a bottle of hot sauce and clearly expecting nothing unusual to happen. Laughing, he swings the camera toward the bed, but his tone shifts almost instantly. Sitting beside his sister is a teddy bear, and the moment Jake speaks, it slowly tips over on its own. Jake points it out, telling her the teddy just fell. She barely reacts, calmly asking, "What?" as if nothing happened at all. Then something far worse happens. Take a look.
Alright, bottle of hot sauce, or say something embarrassing. Bottle of the bear just moved.
What?
Oh my!
Without anyone touching it, the teddy suddenly jerks and slides toward the center of the bed. It doesn't roll or fall naturally. It moves in a single aggressive motion, like it was pushed. The shift is fast, forceful, and completely wrong. Both of them panic instantly. There's no laughter. Now, no jokes. Just shouting as Jake pulls the camera back. They scramble off the bed and bolt from the room as the footage cuts out. Viewers later pointed out how unnatural the movement was, especially compared to the first fall. Jake insists neither of them touched the teddy, and that nothing like this had ever happened in that room before. To this day, he says it's one of the most unsettling moments they've ever captured on camera. This next terrifying video comes from ghost hunter Om Maman. One night, as he was heading to his export location, he was startled by a scream coming from the forest. He tried to locate the source of the sound, and sure enough, he was terrified by the terrifying figure that appeared before him. Take a look. An explorer visits Presidio de San Sabah, a site many believe is haunted not just by a legend, but by a violent past. Built in the mid-17th century, the Presidio became the scene of brutal conflict involving Spanish settlers and local work. Tribes with historical accounts describing attacks, torture, and lives lost on this very ground. Late at night, while exploring the ruins alone, the man records with his phone in one hand and a flashlight in the other as he scans the corner of a stone structure. Something completely unexpected enters the frame. A dark shadow suddenly appears. Watch closely.
Here's the room I'm in. There's the K2. There's the REM pod. There's the wall all the way to the corner.
What makes this moment unsettling is where he's standing. He's backed into a corner with no nearby objects that could cast a moving shadow like that. You can clearly see both of his hands, the phone steady in one, the flashlight fixed in the other, yet the shadow moves in the opposite direction. When viewers pause the footage frame by frame, another detail stands out. For a split second, the shadow appears to have horn-like protrusions, giving it a distinctly disturbing shape. That detail alone sparked intense debate online. Considering the violent history of Presidio de San Sabah, a place marked by fear and suffering, some believe what he captured never truly left these grounds. So what do you? I think just a trick of light or something that still lingers there. This next terrifying video comes from the horror channel True Horror Story. It tells the story of a woman walking home from work alone that night. However, on her way, she feels as if someone is following her, and is suddenly startled by this terrifying apparition. Watch the video carefully.
Apa yang dia cakap tadi, read file? Bawa balik blue file je pun. Should aku patah balik office? Sorry. Sorry. No, money. Sorry. Saja je. Masak kau. I don't...
As we saw, as she was walking alone through the alley, a man suddenly appeared, begging her for money. However, midway through the journey, she was startled by the man, who appeared to be a ghost, right in front of her. The man's horrifying face immediately caused her to panic and flee in fear. Moments later, as she hurried away from the figure, the same terrifying incident occurred again. A family's dog suddenly begins acting strangely, fixated on something no one else can see. Its eyes follow an empty space in the room, body tense, refusing to look away. Whatever has caught its attention clearly isn't visible too. Anyone else watch closely?
You're crazy.
Two things immediately stand out. First, the family doesn't seem alarmed. They brush it off, suggesting the dog is reacting to a noise or just acting out. And second, when the dog grows more agitated, they quietly shush it, something that made many viewers uneasy. Some believe animals sense changes in their surroundings long before humans ever do. What makes this even stranger is that only one dog reacts. So what do you think? An overreactive pet, or the only one in the house that noticed something was there? This next terrifying video comes from the Marizab team, a local ghost hunter who spent the night in a house where a woman had just hanged herself. He decided to spend the night there, hoping to interact with the figure. Initially, nothing seemed out of the ordinary until, as he finished installing the CCTV cameras, he saw this terrifying apparition. Take a look.
Кто там? Кто там? Ответь.
Ну, нет.
Joey Wilson is a father living with his family in Sacramento, California. For years, life at home had been peaceful, until something strange began happening in his backyard. Joey claims that an elderly woman would appear behind the bushes, silently staring at him from a distance. Concerned, he contacted police, believing she might be a confused neighbor who had wandered onto his property. But when officers arrived, they found nothing. No person, no footprints, no sign that anyone had been there at all. And yet Joey insists the figure was real, because at one point he managed to capture it on camera. Take a look.
Look, dude, she couldn't find her way over there, so now she's over here. She's back in here trying to find her way into my property. You see her? Look at that face. Oh my god. It's right there staring at me. Dude, how scary is that shit? Oh my god, dude. What the She's crawling through all this shit, bro.
The figure is only visible for a moment, but when you slow the footage down, something feels wrong. It doesn't move like a normal person. The face appears pale, almost rigid, peering through the branches without blinking, unsettled Joey, and installs a fence in front of the bushes, hoping it would put an end to whatever was happening. But the sightings don't stop. In a later photo, what looks like an arm can be seen resting on a branch in the exact same spot and in another. There's no denying it. Something is clearly shifting behind the leaves, whether it was a person or something else entirely. Joey says one thing was certain. Whatever was watching him from the bush, it didn't feel human at all. This next creepy video comes from the Satpam Explore channel. One night, he and his friend were exploring a location they had previously visited. There was a police line where a body had just been found. He camped there, hoping to find the apparition. At first, nothing seemed out of place, until suddenly, a ghost appeared, watching them from a distance. Take a look.
Apa sebelah sana itu nih? Kamu gak lihat sih? Itu tuh sebelah sana nah. La ilaha illallah. Ada di kamera. Ada. Ini kamu lihat. Ya kan? Iya. Ini yang kemarin, Tuh sana, tuh kelihatan, ya kan? Tuh, mana lari? Tutup. Matikan lampu.
It was clear he had dared to spend the night there, intending to test his courage. At first, nothing seemed out of the ordinary, until he was frightened by the presence of a female ghost peeking from behind a tree, clearly showing a terrifying face. After a while, he entered his tent and plucked up the courage to continue exploring. Suddenly, he was terrified by the apparition of a ghostly figure that appeared before him.
Allah Akbar. Din? Apa itu? Ujung itu guys. Datang apa itu? Allah Akbar. Pocong. Tahan. Sudah. Nggak lewat sini tadi kita. Din, coba. Itu apa sana? Jangan lari.
This piece of CCTV footage was recorded inside an employee's office long after work hours, and what it captures has left viewers deeply unsettled. The building had reopened following a fire 2 years earlier, but since then, staff reported strange activity, objects falling from desks, faint whispers when no one else was around, and computers powering on by themselves. Most of it went unexplained until one night when one of those incidents was finally caught on camera. In the footage, the office is completely empty and silent. When something unusual appears near the floor, a faint pale wisp glides across the room, twisting slightly as it moves, before slowly rising and fading into nothing. There are no lights, reflecting no insects and no visible source that could explain it. After reviewing the clip, the office manager confirmed that no one had entered or exited the building that night. Even stranger motion sensors had only been triggered in that single room. Since then, several employees refused to work there alone among staff. It's now known simply as the haunted office, the place where something from before the fire may have never left. A family was settling in for the night, watching the horror film The Deliverance, a movie inspired by the real-life 2011 Demon House case involving Latoya Ammons. At first, everything felt normal, just another scary movie night. But midway through the film, the power suddenly went out, plunging the living room into darkness. Almost instantly, the atmosphere in the house shifted. The family says they felt a heavy presence, as if someone had just stepped into the room with them. Panicked, they retreated to their bedrooms, hoping whatever it was would stop there. But whatever entered the house that night didn't seem finished. Watch closely.
Bro, what the? Oh, hell no. You gotta go.
After that night, the family says they stopped watching horror movies altogether. Some viewers believe films based on real events can stir fear and emotion, things that might draw unwanted attention. Others argue it was nothing more than nerves, heightened by the movie and the sudden blackout. But there are also those who believe that once something makes itself known, it doesn't always leave on its own. The real question now is whether this was a one-time incident or the beginning of something that waits for the house to go quiet again. What do you think? On March 8, 2023, Casey Lee was home with her family when her son suddenly ran out of the hallway, urgently trying to get his father's attention. He kept pointing toward the end of the hall, insisting his dad come see something right away. His panic didn't feel playful or exaggerated. It felt focused. Watch closely.
This snack will go international.
That looks good though, dude. We gotta try that. Alright, start this video and break the ice. We're gonna break the rice. What else in the rice? Oh. No, that's sick! That's insane! Boy, that's amazing! Wow! Okay, let's go! That's amazing. This feels so trippy too. Yeah, that's big. Oh, you're crunches. Yeah. Down to oil of them. What? I can't grab all these. I'm doing it.
What?
There you go. Oh, yeah. That's so satisfying. Yeah, that is. I like it.
Ghost.
A ghost?
That looks amazing.
Where?
That took.
That shit.
So damn.
Who get who?
Like that ghost.
What ghost?
It's in there.
I'm all set.
Go get him.
No.
What does the ghost look like? What's that? Like that? Okay. Where is he? It's in there. And where? It's in there. Here? Uh-huh. Further? Is he here? In front of me? Over there? Where? Which way? In there. In that room? Yeah. Yeah, I'm not going in there. No, I don't know. Maybe you do whatever you want, bud. Want me to turn the light on in the hallway? Huh? There's no ghost in there? Not anymore because the light's on? Someone's over there? Yeah. It's a ghost? Is it a nice ghost? Friendly ghost? Oh, do what? Am I fighting it? Go fight it?
What?
Go.
Okay.
We're good? I think we're good.
Okay.
Is it a big ghost or a little ghost?
Big ghost.
A big ghost?
Yeah.
Is it a boy ghost or a girl ghost?
Big ghost.
A big ghost.
In there. We're almost there.
According to Casey, this wasn't the first time her son had noticed something no one else could see. Months earlier, he pointed to a corner near a shoe rack, insisting someone was standing there. They brushed it off until the motion. Activated light suddenly turned on by itself, followed by the sound of something shifting across the tiles exactly where he'd pointed. Since then, they've learned not to dismiss him so quickly. That's why this latest incident has been bothering them. The very next day, both family dogs began barking aggressively at the same corner of the house, right at the end of the hallway where her son had been staring. Whatever caught his attention, the animals seemed to sense it, too. And until more updates are shared, this case remains completely unexplained. Late one night, a security camera captures a long, dimly lit hallway stretching deep into the building. At first, the footage appears empty, filled only with the faint, static hum of the feed. But then, at the far end of the corridor, something pale begins to take shape, a white figure slowly forming out of the darkness.
I sprayed the... How can you do that? You forget about it.
This looks like she's floating, Bob. You got it?
Oh God, that gives me the creeps.
Yep.
How can you do that? You forget about it.
This looks like she's floating, Bob.
How can you do that? You forget about it.
This looks like she's floating, Bob.
Oh God, that gives me the creeps.
Yep.
It doesn't walk. It glides, floating forward without a sound, without footsteps, without a shadow beneath it. The figure drifts toward the corner, then turns and vanishes from view. Seconds later, the feed switches to another camera inside a nearby room. The same shape is already there, gliding across the frame before disappearing once again. When security reviewed the footage, they were shaken. No motion sensors had been triggered, and there were no signs of forced entry. Whatever this was, it moved through locked doors and camera zones, as if the walls themselves didn't exist. In the early hours of the morning, CCTV footage inside what appears to be a salon or training space captures something unsettling. It's just after 4 a.m., long after anyone should be inside, and the room is completely still. No movement, no sound. Then, without warning, the camera suddenly detects motion, and what it records is chilling. The fire exit door slowly swings open on its own, revealing nothing but darkness beyond the frame. No one steps inside. Nothing moves. After hanging open for a moment, the door calmly pulls itself shut, inch by inch, as if guided by an unseen hand. Just as the room goes quiet again, one of the mannequin heads, lying neatly on a shelf, suddenly tips over and crashes to the floor. Seconds later, several items on the counter beneath are swept off in rapid succession. No explanation, no visible cause. Whatever opened that door didn't leave quietly, and it clearly wanted the owners to know it had been there. Late one night, around 10 p.m., a doorbell camera was quietly recording as usual. The street outside looked completely normal. Empty road, dim street lights, no movement at all. For several moments, nothing happens. Then, the calm doesn't last. Slowly, something begins to appear at the edge of the frame. A pale, semi-transparent figure drifts into view near the road, moving in a way that doesn't resemble someone simply walking by. Almost simultaneously, a bright orb floats smoothly across the camera's view, gliding past the lens before vanishing. The figure continues forward, crossing part of the driveway without reacting. No glance at the camera, no change in pace. It simply keeps moving until it fades into the darkness down the street. There were no neighbors outside, no passing cars, and nothing else on the footage to explain what was captured. When the homeowners checked immediately after the alert, the street was completely empty. Whatever passed, that camera left no footprints, no shadows, and no explanation behind. A man named May Rosette moved into a new apartment, unaware that his first nights there would turn into something deeply unsettling. By July of 2023, after repeatedly hearing noises and catching glimpses of movement, Rosette decided to start recording. The activity had become frequent enough that he felt compelled to document it, hoping someone might offer an explanation or a way to make it stop. So one night, he set up his camera and began to film.
Okay, so this is my apartment, guys. So I moved here in around July, and at least I think around it was like last week I moved in, and half of it's fades, but it looked like white ghosting. I don't know what it is, but very weird. It was very weird. But then all of a sudden, it's just crazy. Oh snap! What the heck? What the heck? Hello? What the heck? Y'all see that? Man, that thing drove by itself and there's no wind drag or nothing. Look at the fan, look at that the fan working. What the heck? Y'all saw that, right? This is what I'm talking about. It's doing it by itself. Nobody there. The frick is wrong with this? And to me, now, sometimes, I ain't gonna lie, but the internet ain't on. And it usually come on. But goodness gracious, that was just weird. But this is what I'm talking about. And then 2 days ago, I decided, because I didn't get no videos from last week when I moved in.
While talking about earlier encounters, something strange happens. The door behind him suddenly swings open at the exact moment he mentions a figure that he claims appears in the corner of his room. At first, Rosette tries to rationalize it. A draft, maybe. But when he shows the camera, the ceiling fan is completely off. Still shaken, he continues filming. Then, on a later night, he leaves a camera pointed down his hallway while he sleeps. What it captures leaves him visibly disturbed. Take a look. At first, it's difficult to notice, but if you watch closely, something moves in the darkness on the right side of the frame. A faint white shape appears, then vanishes moments later. In a side-by-side comparison, the difference is impossible to ignore. Rosette believes this is the same shadowy presence he'd been seeing near his bedroom, now finally caught on camera. After posting these clips, his account goes quiet. More than 2 years have passed, and these remain the only videos he ever shared. Whatever he experienced in that apartment may have been enough to make sure he never stayed long enough to record again. An Amazon delivery driver named Leah was recording her route while picking up packages from a local storage facility. She'd been working this same stop for months, and nothing unusual had ever happened before. But on this day, the moment she stepped inside the building, she says, something felt off, not dangerous, just wrong, and she had no idea that feeling was about to be justified.
These people think I'm crazy. Y'all, look at this shit. Just look. You see that shit? Y'all see that shit? Yo, watch this. Got it on camera. Thank you, God. What?
As Leah walks inside, the camera pans across long rows of metal storage lockers. Most of them are shut tight, except for a small cluster near the center that are hanging open. Confused, she walks over and begins closing each one, making sure the doors latch properly. Everything seems normal as she steps back, but seconds later, from a short distance away, the camera captures something unsettling. One of the lockers she had just secured begins to creak. Slowly, the metal door pulls itself open wide before stopping on its own. There's no one near it, and whatever caused it never reveals itself. Shaw passenger riding a late-night train began filming after noticing something deeply unsettling inside the carriage. At first glance, it looked like an ordinary figure sitting silently among the empty seats. But the longer the camera lingered, the more wrong it felt.
Right, speak to staff or text police 61016. We'll sort it. Right, speak to staff or text police 61016. We'll sort it.
Some viewers believe the figure didn't enter the train at all. They claim it appeared suddenly, as if it slipped in from somewhere it didn't belong. Another place, another moment. And if that's true, then the real question is how long it had already been there before anyone noticed. A woman says that ending her relationship didn't bring relief, it made things worse. According to her, her ex-boyfriend had something dark attached to him, something his own family spoke about casually, as if it were normal. That was when she started connecting the dots. The unexplained electrical problems in his house, objects shifting on their own, strange incidents the family had quietly lived with for years. Then, after the breakup, she captured this clip, filmed while the two were no longer together, and it convinced her that whatever had been there hadn't stayed behind.
Do this, it's just happening. What?
She says this wasn't the first incident, and not even the most disturbing. Later, she described what happened to his sister, waking up one morning to find her puppy dead, and every plant in the house completely withered overnight. While she was still living there, the woman experienced sudden cold spots, locked doors creaking open on their own, and shadows moving where there was nothing to cast them. Some nights, it felt like something was walking from room to room. Now that she's gone, she believes that presence has followed her. Many call it a jumper, something that doesn't stay tied to one house or one person, but moves, feeding on stress, conflict, and emotional turmoil. Whether it attached itself to her or chose her, she doesn't know. But based on this footage, one thing feels clear. Whatever was haunting that family may not be done with her yet.